It is tradition for the Secretary General to come before the General Assembly and present priorities for the year ahead. Today, I do so for the final time. And let me assure you that I will make every day of 2026 count. I'm fully committed and fully determined to keep working, to keep fighting, to keep pushing for the better world that we know is possible. It is full steam ahead. So today I want to use this traditional moment for something slightly non-traditional. I want to look not only to this year, but beyond, and to speak candidly about the larger forces and mega trends shaping our world and the deeper challenges we must confront. Rather than a checklist, I want to zero on principles that must guide our work. But let me begin with the context. Excellencies, let's be clear. The context is chaos. We are in a world brimming with conflict, impunity, inequality, and unpredictability. A world marked by self-defeating geopolitical divides, brazen violations of international law, and wholesale cuts in development and humanitarian aid. These forces, and more, are shaking the foundations of global cooperation and testing the resilience of multilateralism itself. And that is the paradox of our era. At a time when we need international cooperation the most, we seem to be the least inclined to use it and invest in it. Let me boil it down to three principles that must be at the foundation of all our actions, not just for this year, but for our times. First, we must adhere to the UN Charter fully and faithfully. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That leads to the second principle. We must be relentless in our work for peace and justice, peace between nations, and peace with nature. They are being amplified by bottomless greed. In Gaza, I welcome the start of phase 2 of the ceasefire announced by the US and reiterate that humanitarian aid must flow unimpeded, the ceasefire must be implemented in full, and the way must be cleared to an irreversible path to a two-state solution in accordance with international law. In Ukraine, where we must spare no effort to stop the fighting and achieve a just and lasting peace in line with UN Charter, international law, and UN resolutions. In Sudan, where the parties must agree on an immediate cessation of hostilities and the resumption of talks to reach a lasting ceasefire and a comprehensive, inclusive, and Sudanese-owned political process. Civilians must be protected. From Yemen to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, from Haiti to the Sahel, to Myanmar and around the world, we must never give up in the pursuit for peace. And finally, our priority must be to build unity in an age of division. Around the world, we see the risk of societies breaking down under the weight of racism, nationalist xenophobia, and religious bigotry. And the algorithms shaping our lives. Our challenge and our priority must be to build welcoming societies, not walled-off citadels. Societies that invest in the software of social cohesion, inclusion, education and skills, decent jobs, and social protection, with a new social contract. Societies that build communities where everyone's identity is respected and all feel they belong and are bound by shared civic values. Harmony is never accidental. It requires deliberate policy, resources, and political courage. If we fail to put our common humanity first, we risk losing everything that makes us strong. The choice is clear: inclusion or isolation, renewal or decline. We must build united societies in a world of united nations. Excellencies, I've spoken plainly because the times demand it. We cannot afford complacency, denial, or delay. We cannot be bystanders to injustice, indifference, or impunity. And we have the power to chart a different course. The Charter gives us our compass. Our pursuit for peace with justice gives us our purpose. And our common humanity gives us the imperative to act. The world is changing, often in ways that are unsettling, but also in ways that are inspiring. The forces of division and inequality are powerful, but so too is our capacity for solidarity and justice. Even in the rough seas of today, we can anchor our action in peace, dignity, and hope. That takes the best efforts of everyone. Let's never forget who we are and what we represent. The United Nations is a living promise, a promise that despite our differences, we will solve problems together. Let's keep that promise. Let's never give up. The stakes could not be higher and the time could not be shorter. And I thank you.